The new patch just went live and there's a lot of updates to talk about, so I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching. Hello! So I usually don't do a lot of these just sit down and talking vids, but with this new patch update and all these new changes, I thought I'd go ahead and do one. So as you can see, the two major things are we now have the endorsements and looking for group, and along with a bunch of character changes, the changes to the hero select bars, and a bunch of other little things that I actually didn't even know to expect. But the most important thing that I'm super excited about is the Symmetra change. So this playing right now is how you endorse people. So after a game has ended, you can choose to endorse your teammates, and I think you can also endorse enemy players too. I wasn't really paying attention too much to that. But you can either endorse them for sportsmanship, good teammate, or being a shot caller. I didn't do any shot callers because I was doing quick play and no one was in voice chat. But I think this endorsement thing will really be great for in competitive when, you know, you have more people on the mic and stuff. So as far as the Symmetra changes, as you can see, her turrets, they now fly in the air and they stick to any surface, so you can now, you know, throw them up to high ground where you couldn't put them before. The turrets have been changed from having 6 turrets to only 3, but they're more powerful and they're a little bit harder to destroy. So right now what you're seeing is her ultimate, and she just creates this giant photon barrier wall that covers the whole entire map, and the trick is to make it kind of at a angle, because that way you and your teammates can just kind of go back and forth between it. Like, you don't want to make just a giant wall like a Reinhardt wall to where you could only like stay behind it. Her primary fire is now not a lock-on beam, but more of like a Zarya beam, so you need more tracking with it. And her secondary fire, her orbs are a lot faster and more powerful. So overall, I'm really excited about all of these Symmetra changes, and I played my first game in quick play as Symmetra, and it was really hard to get used to it, especially because there was an enemy Widow, and I kept wanting to shoot the photon barrier shield at her, but I was like, oh, I don't have that anymore, and then the teleport is kind of hard to get used to too. But I'm really excited for Symmetra being more mobile and having all these new abilities. So her teleport, you have to bind a key for it to work, and you have to do this for all of the characters. So I did mine as R3 or L3, whichever one, or it might be both, I don't know. But yeah, so that also took some getting used to. I'm probably going to keep on testing out different key bindings for that to see what feels best for me. But if anyone has any ideas, you know, please let me know. So yeah, the Symmetra changes are really fun, and I can't wait to see how other people play her. So the second big change is the changes to the Horizon Lunar Colony map. So right now we're in the defense spawn, and as you can see, there's already some changes. And the defenders area has all the access to the new high ground, so that's going to be easier for them to access that and to keep the attackers off high ground. There's a lot more barriers for snipers on the high ground, and the defender spawn on point B is further away, so you know, the whole trickling in effect will be harder for the defenders to stop from happening. Yeah, some of the map hasn't really changed much, but the major differences are very noticeable. And yeah, there's small little lore additions as well, and I really like how all of this high ground area for Symmetra and her new rework is really going to be fun for the defense. Yeah, so like this little garden area over here I really like. I don't really know much about the Overwatch lore, but I do like all these little additional changes, and it'll be interesting to see what people have to say and dissect about it. So now moving on to point A, as you can see, once again the defender's side has the easy access to the high ground with that stairway on the right side, and there's going to be a bunch of barriers up there for snipers to help have cover, and yeah, it's just really great for the defenders. So usually when I'm attacking I like to play Sombra, so I don't know how this is gonna work out, because I usually like to translocate up this right side and then go in the stairway over there, and I usually like camp over there with a translocator. But yeah, so this will be really interesting to see how these changes affect team comp and play style and strategies. The outside zero grav area didn't change, so that's the same. But with the map changes, there's different locations for health packs and all that. So I'll show in a little bit the attacker spawn, and it hasn't really changed that much. But besides the Horizon Lunar Colony map, other changes that I didn't even know they were going to change were for Doomfist, McCree, and Orisa. So Doomfist, his Meteor Strike will have a bonus movement speed increased from 150% to 200%, and his shield gain will be increased from 30 to 35 for normal abilities. So as you can see right there, you normally would be able to go through that part, but now you can't. McCree's Deadeye range has been increased from 70 meters to 200 meters. That's pretty crazy. And Orisa's Supercharger ultimate cost has been reduced by 15%, so she'll get her ult faster. So the last little thing is, of course, this additional lore. I'm guessing this is supposed to be Hammond's room, and because the other room is Winston's room when he was on the colony. And as you can see on the floor, there's Winston's blueprint for his emergency escape pod, and I'm guessing Hammond looked at that to model his own escape pod, that round circular thing on the sticky note on the right, and it looks really similar to the circular metal object in the Overwatch teaser for the new hero that just released recently. So that'll be really interesting to see what these little clues lead up to. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a little bit different, but there's just so much going on. I'll leave a link to the patch notes on the Play Overwatch page, and thanks for watching.